Alrighty guys, so we've been working on the Enticer 300 race sled the last day, and now we're going to work on a little bit this morning, putting the rear suspension in. But I'll give you a rundown what we did yesterday. We had the parts sled, which is over here, pushed on the side, so that's in great positioning. Sparky's currently lubricating the rear suspension skid. So we took the carburetor apart again, tried to re-clean it. I have very little faith that it will run, just because there's an air bleed, I believe, in the main circuit that's just clogged, and I can't blow through it. So I don't think that's a good sign. I have a round slide that we're going to be converting if it doesn't work, and we will have to test and tune with that in the future here. We have 2 weeks until the race, so we put numbers on it, 007. So that was freaking cool. We retaped the handlebar and the brake lever. We also put in new brakes, or brake pads I should say, the whole brake pad assembly from that Enticer because they were really good. And now the brakes are, I mean, they're tight, so that's perfect. We're not going to ask about why that tape is there. No one needs to know about why that's there. Yeah. Nope. I put a new fuel pump on it. I put a new impulse line, fuel lines, fuel filter. What else? We had to weld some stuff on the cross shaft on the skid. We put new high facts on it. We got to put the springs back in it, and also got to do our lube system that Sparky's going to custom fab up. And we're going to use the oil injection bottle as the lube tank, and then use RV antifreeze, obviously. But yeah, that's kind of what we did yesterday. I didn't really have the camera on much. We were just kind of grinding it out and seeing what we could get done with the time that we had. Also sold that red Skidoo, so that was good. Good news. But yeah, we're definitely going to try to get this thing ready for 2 weeks. If the weather stays cold, we'll probably be able to test next weekend, I think, Spark?
Yeah.
Get you some seat time behind the wheel of this beast. But the skid turned out pretty good, guys. Our air grinder situation last night was just piss poor. I mean, we were just going at like a one grind every 30 seconds. So, our track condition on this sled is not, I wouldn't say it's perfect, I wouldn't say it's awful. So it's in between those two. But we did the old, like, was that like mailbox numbers or something? House numbers?
House numbers.
Reflective. And then we got him an orange vest with 007 as well. So we should be pretty legal for safety wise. But yeah, the main thing, if we get this suspension, and we're basically just going to have to test and tune with the round slide of this carbs junk. And also we're going to get a spare belt before the race, just in case we blow a belt first turn. Yep. Other than that, yeah, we're just going to do some little things to it. Make sure everything's copacetic and hopefully get some testing. We'll definitely have the GoPro on him if he tests the unit, and at the racetrack, most likely he'll be wearing it. But yeah, did some good progress on this thing. And like this at the parts rig, we got absolutely hosed. I mean, I know the buddy that did own this sled's going to be watching this video, so hopefully he gets a hell of a harassment from you guys in the comment section. Tell him he really screwed us on this one. I mean, just gave us an awful deal on it, you know. She's just banged up. Suspension, junk. The only thing usable, really, was a limiter strap and a pair of brake pads. Everything else, completely junk. Motor could be salvageable if with a full rebuild.
It'll make it 4.
Yeah. But alright, boys, we're going to get the rear suspension started. Alrighty, guys, so we put the rear suspension in. A little bit of a job. A little note, if you guys are ever going to do this on an Enticer, I recommend taking the springs. Don't put them in any slots or anything. Remove the limiter strap in the front, and then put the rear in first, right? Yeah. And then put the front in, and then put the springs in last. And then reconnect your limiter strap. Use a jack. And take those triangle pieces out if you have them on your skid like we have. But we fucked around with that for a while, and we got that figured out. So she's back together. We got to do track alignment yet. And then carb tuning most likely will be in the next episode here. So yeah, I got attached the rear snow flap yet, which is simple job, just some fender washers and 2 bolts. Not a big deal. That can be done 2 minutes. We got to premix our fuel. And yeah, so we should be good to go. That's all we know for now. We'll pick up next week, hopefully when we start working on it again. So, all right, boys. Make sure you guys subscribe, leave a like on the video. Try to get this thing on the racetrack in 2 weeks. Alrighty, boys. Really?
It goes to the well, I can get out of that damn.
What you guys did not see is me and Sparky have been fine-tuning this throttle cable setup. First of all, I'm going to have Sully come over here and talk about his quad shortly. I guess we'll have to wait. He's kind of looking for bolts for handguards right now, but we've been at this since 6 a.m. this morning. Sparky is currently modifying the throttle handle, boys, to get a little more pull out of it because we did the Mikuni swap. I mean, you can get another 1/8 inch out of it even. That I could live with that. I could live with that.
I'm gonna pull on the slide. I think we're just gonna leave it.
Just leave it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Anyways, boys, so I don't know if the last time we updated you guys, we were working on the rear suspension, I think.
Oh yeah.
And that was a tough job. Anyways, we aligned the track, got that pretty much lined up, and then we checked the tension on it. Seems pretty good. We bought a brand new 38 millimeter Mikuni round slide. And then if you guys want a jetting list, I can always, put that in the description or something. But, seeing this as a competition race sled, I'm going to leave the jetting information private unless somebody actually wants to know about it. But I might do an in-depth video when we actually see it on the lake to see how it goes, so I can see if our jetting is actually accurate. But we got it to run pretty good. We had to do a lot of tuning, change out some slides, change out some, change the needle clip position a few times. We deleted the choke. So we have no choke, we just spray it with some gas to start it. We also hooked up our lube system, so we're using the oil injection bottle as our lube tank. We got some just normal washer fluid in there right now. And we got a shut-off down there to meter the fuel with a T-fitting. Line comes down here and then goes right above the slide rail suspension, and then it drips right down the slide. Same thing on the left side. There's also another shut-off on this side because the way we have this T-fitting and how the tank was in there, you could only put it in this way. It just wouldn't work unless you made a huge loop, and then little did you know you have air bubbles everywhere after that, so it's just going to be a shit show. Yeah, so we made a gasket for the intake boot because it's a rubber boot, not a metal plated boot, so it kept warping, like it'd make a gap in the bottom, so it'd have a lot of air sucking in. So I ended up putting a lot of Yam bond and a fiber gasket we made for that. Like I said, we got a new throttle cable, a universal one, and with the setup on here, the old Enticer had that butterfly, so it really didn't need to pull the throttle cable so far. Well, with this one, it really has to pull it a long way. So right now we're not getting, I'd say we're getting to about 7/8 throttle. There's still about 1/8 of a throttle left, the top end, that I really want to get the rest of it out of it just to see what it's got. But I mean, it definitely sounds healthy when we get on her. We also taped up the brake and everything like that. These brakes are a little stiff too, they like get a little stuck. I have to lube them up a little bit, just the actuator. I put fresh plugs in. I think I mentioned we had a fuel pump last video. We did all that stuff, but we were doing a lot of jetting today, and Sparky fabbed up that whole lube system in about 20 minutes. It was a lot of heating it up with a lighter. Due to budget cuts this year, we couldn't afford a heat gun, so we used a cigarette lighter, the $1 cigarette lighter.
Yep.
It just seems like it's a little sticky. But that's what we did on the Enticer. I mean, it was just lots of work. But we finally got it to where it runs. It's pretty responsive. Like I said, I can do an in-depth jetting video if anyone's interested in what the actual specs on everything is. In case you guys are doing a swap on one of these. Definitely it takes a lot of tuning. We're checking plugs quite often, just making sure it wasn't anything crazy lean. I got a pretty fat jet in it right now for our testing. Hopefully we're going to test tomorrow on the lake. We'll get some content on that. Sully over here,
Yes.
this guy was hard at work today.
Oh yeah.
So you can see how many studs you put in the rear?
175 roughly each tire.
175 each tire, I think he said. So that's what it looks like. On the fronts, we put just studs right down the center because that's all you need.
108-ish.
108 studs about in each.
Left over.
We were going to do the thumb throttle conversion, but the cable for the twist throttle, we didn't realize it was too long, so you don't have enough adjustment. So we have to get a new cable.
Cable's on order.
We ordered that.
Got
We
some
put
new grips. I have a full airbox lid now. We'll see. Hopefully, I don't have to reach. Otherwise, we'll just throw the half on again. But
a new fuel line on.
put a new fuel line on. We cracked that off.
A lot of good stuff.
What else did we do? Put some power mat handguards on.
Yeah, it's got power mat handguards now.
The old ones are all chewed up and
Yeah, we just put the old setup on for now for testing purposes.
Yeah, just so we can get some laps.
This
on
thing
there.
was stripped down to basically on 2 jack stands,
It
no
was on
plastics.
Yeah, 2 jack
no
stands,
tank.
Just the front, basically clip of plastics was on it.
So, yeah, we've been just hard at work today. Me and Sally were up at 6.
Yeah, I think I spent 2 hours studying the tires.
And we went to a vintage snowmobile show today too.
Just
So,
a,
I mean, we missed 2.5 hours at least
Oh,
of time.
yeah.
We could have had this. We could have been at the lake. If we didn't go to the show, we would have definitely had the lake testing time. But
yeah, support local.
the show was pretty fucking cool. There was a lot of sleds there. But yeah, guys, I mean, it definitely runs decent. So, very happy with that. We'll definitely get some start up and hopefully riding on the lake tomorrow. Just testing it out. We'll put the GoPro on Sparky and see what he thinks. But we'll see what we can think about. I mean, maybe there's another throttle lever we can use for this. But like, we can't get any more. It's just flat.
It is.
Like, you're not gonna get any more than that. It's just as much. And the way that's set up down in there, it's just not gonna go so good. So, we got the idle set just about where we want it. Decently high, maybe 2,500 RPM. But yeah, at least it's operational. Everything seems to be in there in good shape. It's starting, it's running. We'll see how it cold starts tomorrow. That'll be the real test. Oh, some good old metric hardware, buddy.
It's just a through pull that goes in here.
There's the first handguard on that side. How's it looking, buddy? How you feeling?
You know, like this is slippery, so.
It's like, we'll have glove on, maybe it might help. I don't know. This guy. That's his washer, he says. Dude, very big.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, this guy has a full bolt, a whole nut on here. A quarter 20 or 5/16 18, I can't remember.
Alright, we're gonna need a.
It's in there cross-threaded. Hold on.
Here, we'll try to.
Like,
There. Yep, now get a. We need an 8.
that looks like 5/16 socket to me. Or 8, I guess.
8 will round.
I mean, I guess.
And it will round the goal.
Yeah. But at least we got the studs in the
Yeah, if
tires.
you're wondering what kind of studs these are, I got them off
Rocky Mountain.
Rocky Mountain ATV. You can get 1 day, 2 day, or standard shipping.
Probably
But
$50, I think, eh?
It was $46. These are 3/8.
Oh, half inch.
They're half-inch.
Yep.
They're half-inch lugs on them.
Yep.
So they actually are really sharp with their hands.
Oh, yeah.
I
These
was
will
putting
definitely
them
gonna
in,
bite.
rotating the tire, and it definitely hurt a little.
Yeah, we just put them in with the impact gun, right? A little nut
Yep,
driver.
little Bauer.
Little Bauer from Harbor Freight, man. You want to move that around maybe before you get too excited?
Go for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Anything on ice. So-
Like off-road riding.
You know, they've raced. I mean, they've attempted to race sleds in a circle on the field, but the ice is a completely different game. So
Just hit the ice over.
we're definitely gonna try to send. See, I feel like this thing's got some like. Look, what's up with this ski? It's cocked. A little cocked.
Can you grab me a
I guess not. Oh, buddy, how's that washer treating you?
Ooh, I need an 11 or 12.
It's just.
Full row.
Are they?
Is that a wrench? 11, 12 wrench on there, Mike?
This is a 10 wrench. Oh, this is a 12.
Yeah, not that not my work.
The finest 12 wrench we've ever had, probably from 1975.
Oh, that's an 11. Give me 11 socket.
What in the? It's definitely a 7/16, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be an American bolt, buddy.
You want to grab me?
Oh,
What's up, dog?
I know why.
What?
That thing took a hit.
Did it?
Yeah, that bolt's all bent to shit.
Yeah, up in there, right? Did you see that? Is that why it's all fucked?
Yeah.
Take that bolt out and put a new bolt in?
No.
Run.
I mean, you have to thaw it off.
I did notice that. I was wondering what the heck that was. What he's talking about, guys, is right there.
Oh, there's no not the one on the shock, the one on the inside, buddy. You get the one that goes through the extender plate.
Oh, well, that one too. On the spindle itself, guys, is bowed in a U. There was also a bigger driver that had this. Big man.
Well, maybe they bent it for a reason. That's your up.
Well, you'll know. If it doesn't handle, I mean, we'll obviously know. But I'm very happy that it runs. It runs good enough to take it for a ride. Before, with the other carburetor setup, and we had the initial tuning, This thing bogged so bad. It had the nastiest bog. It was really lean, so we richened the heck out of it in the low end. So I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyways, guys, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Just wanted to give you a rundown. Sorry we didn't have the camera on. We were all just in a huge rush. I mean, we wanted to get to the lake today, but we just didn't have enough time. So unfortunately, that's why we had to just leave the camera off for today and get a little recap. Obviously, these guys are still hard at work, so.
Yeah, I think the camera's absolutely piping the pooch.
You're piping the pooch, he says. But anyways, guys, we'll get some content of us at the track.